him as the Pavarotti of Pakistan, and the Japanese claim they saw shades of the Buddha in him. To millions of fans across the world, Ustad Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan was the king of qawwals. Although Nusrat's international career was launched in 1985, his association with the art of qawwali singing is nearly 600 years old. A Punjabi of Afghan descent, Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan comes from a line of classical singers and musicians. He was born in Pakistan's industrial town of Faisalabad in 1948 and was trained in qawwali by his father, Ustad Fateh Ali Khan. Despite the family's musical heritage, Nusrat's father had hoped his son would break with tradition and adopt a profession like medicine or engineering. But the force of custom proved too strong for Nusrat to resist, and soon after his father's death in 1964, he took up singing full-time. He gave his first big performance at the age of 16, and by 1971 was leading his father's group. It took Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan little time to establish his credentials as a qawwali singer of the highest caliber. He quickly gained acclaim among Pakistan's older generations, but remained relatively unknown to younger audiences, who preferred the more romantic moods of film songs and pop bands. Reviving interest in qawwali became a mission for Nusrat, who not only wanted to master the art himself, but also wanted to stretch the boundaries of the musical genre that had originated in the 13th century. Nusrat began touring Europe in the early 1980s. In 1985, he was invited to perform at a WOMAD festival in Gloucester. WOMAD, the World of Art, Music and Dance, is a subsidiary of Peter Gabriel's Real World record label. It stages music festivals featuring international artists annually. Nusrat's performance that year caught Gabriel's imagination, and he decided to use him in his 1988 soundtrack for The Last Temptation of Christ, a Martin Scorsese film. 2 years later, his most famous song, Must Must, was released, cementing his reputation as a versatile and highly talented singer. It was also the beginning of a totally new chapter in Nusrat's musical style, a move celebrated by millions, old and young alike. This shift towards a more modern sound also invited a fair deal of criticism from traditionalists, who accused Nusrat of selling out to the West. The noises of dissent made by such critics were, however, soon drowned out by widespread applause for Nusrat's work, which had brought qawwali back into fashion. Khan's hypnotic voice was now being heard on a panoramic scale, in Hollywood films and across European clubs. By the time Nusrat died, his repertoire included over 100 hours of music. But the ultimate test of his talent lies not in the vast numbers of recordings he made in his lifetime, but the enormous crowds he drew wherever he performed, whether it was London or Lahore, New York or New Delhi.
अयूब साहब, जैसे कि आपने